Well, I'm not a big fan of rocks, regardless of what name they have. Diamonds don't impress me. Gems don't give me joy. But I have to admit, there's one precious stone I had to have. Hey, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me this morning. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. If you click the link to join our email list, you'll get to download a free copy of my book, Count to One, and you'll get Mornings with Bishop Robert sent directly to your inbox every day. And there's a bunch of other great benefits too, so click the link in the description. You'll find out everything you need to know. So grab a cup and lift it up, and let's talk about precious stones. You know, the Pink Star Diamond is the most valuable gem ever to be sold at auction. Weighing in at almost 60 carats, the largest flawless pink diamond ever graded, sold in 2013 for around $83 million. Now, my wife, however, would never wear it. Not that there's any risk of me making that purchase. Amex says the Platinum card has no preset spending limit, but I think $83 million would be pushing it a bit. Now, she has absolutely no desire to have a rock hanging from her fingers. She didn't even want a diamond engagement ring. And as I said, I'm not one for gemstone rings either. An Episcopal ring has almost always been a very large gold ring with an amethyst, purple being the ecclesiastical color for a bishop. My Episcopal ring is a simple silver ring which has the Chi-Rho in the center, flanked on either side by the Greek letters for Alpha and Omega. No stone. There are other sorts of gems that are infinitely more valuable than even the Pink Star Diamond, more valuable than much fine gold. Those are the precious promises that touch our hearts, like today's verse. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. Anxiety is a heavy burden, weighs down our hearts, often generated by pain or fear. Anxiety is like a gloomy cloud. It blocks light and it makes everything darker. It's difficult to see clearly in the dark. Life situations, both those present and those which may come upon us, can be clouded by anxiety. Crises of health and wealth, death of loved ones, threats to job security and income, all of these things, and many more, can become a heavy burden. But it's not a burden that Christ intends for us to carry. He invites us to exchange our anxiety for his consolation. Consolation is much more than just an expression of sympathy. To console is to soothe, to encourage, to raise up. Jesus promised he'd never leave us or forsake us. Anxiety seeks to move us away from him and isolate ourselves in our fear and pain. But he steps closer. He invites us to give our burden to him. He opens the door for us to cast all our anxiety on him because he cares. And more importantly, he's capable of handling every burden we have. You know, a few nights ago, I was carrying 4 glasses to the cabinet where they're stored. Not a heavy burden, but an unwieldy one. I dropped one and it fell and it broke. I mean, since the glass was only worth $1 or so, I wasn't really overly concerned. But that's when my wife pointed out that it had fallen next to a precious set of antique dishes that we received, but had been a wedding gift to her mother. And the real risk was that one of them could have been broken as well. So that would be something of minimal value, destroying something of irreplaceable value. And that's what anxiety does. It uses something real, but essentially worthless, to put at risk something priceless. Cast your cares and anxieties upon Christ. Be anxious for nothing. But no matter what the burden is, tell God in prayer how you feel. Ask Him to take it and take care of it. And then begin giving thanks to Him for what He will do, even before you see it being done. That's how you walk in faith. There's an expectation of the delivery, the confidence of the answer to your prayer. That's when anxiety is pushed aside by His consolation. And that's what makes room for His joy. There was a royal official who lived in Galilee. His son had become deathly ill. He was anxious and afraid. And as a father, he could do nothing. Even his power as a royal official had no impact on his son's health. And as he sat and watched his son getting weaker and weaker, he heard that Jesus was close by. He went and he begged him to come and heal his son. The royal authority of the official was worthless. What he needed was the royal authority of the King of Kings. And Jesus told him, "Go, your son will live." I've always been struck by the next 7 words in John's Gospel. Here they are. The man took Jesus at His word. He knew how authority worked. So he knew before he saw what the answer would be. He took Jesus at His word. He left. And he got home to find out that his son had recovered at the exact time Jesus had spoken. Let Jesus speak consolation into your life and your situation today. You can take Him at His word. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. The most precious gem in the world is not a rock named Pink Star. It's the Rock of Ages, Jesus Christ. The Lord is my rock, my stronghold, my deliverer, my Savior and my God, my refuge, my shield, the gem of joy, the rock of God's promises. That has value. The Rock of Ages is the one precious stone I must have. Well, another thing, we've finished today. Can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know Him and His word personally and better? Would you please like this video, which will help more people see it, and then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. If you click the link in the description, you'll get added to my email list and get Mornings with Bishop Robert sent to you every single morning. One more thing. Share this with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.